The one who is saved from the pits and in the final 5 is Javan. You have 1 vote to save. And Noah, you have been raptured from the game.
So I'm very happy that Dresden made the decision to save me, and also very happy that Noah is now out of this game. And this brings me, Dresden, and Trevor really close to the end.
Thanks for the juice box, but the last of your AG sheep is here. Thanks for the one.
Oh, thank goodness. I'm not mad about this one. He came rolling up the stairs acting like we had some kind of beef, saying that he was another one of my sheep, and thanks for the beatbox. Like, obviously, I was gonna get you out, buddy. I mean, I just don't understand, like, what kind of, like, beef or, like, what kind of shade he was trying to throw. It just didn't make sense and it didn't land. But he did still have that beatbox in hand, and not only did I give him a beatbox, he had the audacity to ask to switch the flavors because he said mango gives him GI problems.
So now that Noah's gone, a big person I wanted to be at the end with, I didn't really know where to go next, but all I knew was that Nate is a huge threat. Nate is a huge threat. He has to leave. We as a team have to pull together and beat Nate at this next Omni trial or we are screwed. He has 2 chances to save himself in the Omni and then at the safety competition. We need to pull this through.
All right, final 5. Final 5.
It is time we get rid of Nate because Nate is definitely someone that could win this game if he gets to the finals. He's someone that I would probably vote for in the event that I get to jury and am not sitting in those final 3 chairs.
So going into this round, Trevor, Dresden, and I, we know we have to get Nate out this round if we're gonna have any chance of winning this game.
Hello to my beautiful final 5. You know, from the moment you walked through these doors, I knew it would be you 5. Anyway, as we near the end game, the rules to these final rounds will begin to change ever so slightly. Because there are so few of you left, the Omni will not be placing anybody in the pits this round. Rather, the 4 of you who are not Omni will compete in one final chance for safety. But more on that later. This competition is called Glorious Gratuity. The goal of this competition is to balance whatever objects we give you on your serving tray. If an object drops off of your tray, you will be out of the competition. As time goes on, we will be adding more and more things to your tray. So, look lively, contenders. There's a room full of hungry patrons out there, and only the best waiter will get the biggest tip. The tip being safety from elimination and a fast pass to the final 4. Check, please. Keep the change.
He is funny.
3, 2, 1, and we are locked. If you drop, you are eliminated from the Omni trial. Do not let the tray touch your body except for your hand and forearm.
So we are starting off this competition, Glorious Gratuity. Holding this tray with 1 marble, it is already really hard. I am starting to shake, the marble is moving around, and I'm honestly not feeling very confident right now.
This is your 3rd mini endurance challenge.
Now that I'm really gunning hard for all these challenges, it's gonna be difficult because not everything's gonna be in my skill set. And this challenge with holding the tray with balls is my LRG kryptonite. I have dropped in seconds on this challenge before. I have dropped for a grilled cheese on this challenge before. And I did not feel confident.
second time I've been holding my hand out and it hurts my abs. Like, what is that? My core workouts? Core workouts need to be a thing. Okay. So then we get into the first competition, the Omni Trial, Glorious Gratuity, where we're holding these marbles on our plates. We're servers, little servers serving. And essentially, instantly, my abs are hurting, and I whined about it the entire competition. Had to kind of, like, that was my turn to distract everyone else. We had the singing, lovely singing in one of those earlier competitions. This time, it's my turn to distract people, because I'm not lasting long in this.
3, 2, 1. We're locked. No touching of anything except your hand. Your one hand.
I was a solid 10 out of 10. I've never had like a server waiter job, but I felt like I would have got hired for my posture during that first part of the competition.
Yeah, so starting out with this challenge, I was like, you know what? Well, this is nothing. Like, I think I could probably do this for quite a long time. Then he starts to add on another ball. And you know what? I'm like, really, this isn't too bad because, like, these two little marbles, they like each other. Like, they're not trying to separate. They're clearly a thing, and I'm going to make sure that they can maintain this relationship as long as possible.
So we add a second marble to the tray, and I'm already shaking from the first, and these balls are moving around a lot, and I'm not sure how long I'm gonna be able to keep it up there.
3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Time. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
We keep adding balls, and honestly, they weren't moving that much. It just was hard on the arm and hard on my abs. And everyone's still in this competition. So next thing you know, we have to put our arm way out.
We will be extending our arms.
After they give us all these balls, they want to tell us to lift up the tray and do it at an eye level. And that's where I would probably get fired from the job.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6,
Lydia's in place.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time.
At that point, everything's hurting. The abs are hurting, the shoulders hurting, the arms hurting. I am in trouble. And Dresden drops. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm not the first out of this. The whole time I was like, is someone gonna beat Nate? He's so solid. He's so solid.
I am shaking. Literally shaking.
At first it was going really well, and then we had to extend our arms. So I had learned really quickly and early on that like using your hand and your forearm was a good way to keep the board balanced and not exhaust your wrists and your fingers. But when we had to start extending, I felt that shit in my whole fucking body. My back, my neck, my back, my crack, all of it. It was all hurting, I was shaking, I was sweating. I had to take my damn shirt off before this challenge, which I'm glad I did.
I end up dropping. Can we please beat Nate? If we don't beat him, we're another round in and he's just gonna win and he's gonna win out. Like, this is so important. Please pull it together. Please, Javan and Lydia, please pull it together.
I am so proud of how far I got in that challenge. it's down to Nate and Javan, and honestly, I'm hoping Nate loses this one because he's becoming such a big target and evading every vote, never being put in the pits, and winning Omni after Omni. So he really needs to drop soon so that we can get rid of him.
So Lydia drops, and I am absolutely stressed out. And my arm is shaking so much. So much. And I don't know how long I'm going to be able to hold on. Our plan to get Nate out depends on Nate not winning, obviously. He can't win.
It's Nate versus Javan. Oh my god. I can't fucking believe it. I'm staring. I'm like, please, 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 please.
Javan has won Omni. Holy shit. You have won the hardest challenge of the season so far, and you are Omni. You have made it to the final 4.
Nate drops. I could have screamed at the top of my lungs and jumped and yelled. I literally went like this to Lydia. I tapped her leg. I'm like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, we did it. One step down, one step down.
Javan, because there is no decision for you to make, and all 4 of these players will be in the pits competing for their safety, you can enter the gates. This is the unofficial ascension. So say goodbye to your fellow contenders.
Good luck. So I'm absolutely stoked on winning the second to last Omni. And this means Trevor, Dresden, and Lydia can put into play, well, one of them will come up for safety, but they can put into place the plan to get Nate out. Hello?
Not the reaction. Oh, I was sweating. We did it. I thought it was physical. I was like, what?
So I lost the challenge and I'm like, god damn it. Like, I really had to win that one because I could just tell, just like sitting next to these people, that they are gunning for me. So I really need to win this next challenge.
This round, I'm automatically in the pits because there are only so many people left available to be in the pits. So I am once again back down where I belong, apparently.
Well, look what we have here. All 4 of you battling it out to escape the dreaded pits. How's everyone feeling?
Terrible.
Javan just became Omni, and this is the second time officially that I'm in the pits because he doesn't get to nominate anyone. It's just the 4 other people instantly in the pits, and what we get to do is this Power of Redemption competition next. So we kind of figured this. We knew that we'd have to beat Nate in the Omni, but also this redemption competition. So I'm like, please, that was physical. That's more of Nate's thing. Please, please, please let this be mental because that's more of mine and Lydia's thing.
Well, keep those feelings going because this competition will be played one at a time. The contender who will be going first is Trevor. Hello, Trevor. For this Power of Redemption competition, Trials and Tribulations, your goal is to line up the Omni trials played so far this season of the Golden Gate. Of course, there is a twist. The trials will not be laid out for you directly, but there will be a riddle of sorts that hints to which competition it corresponds to. If you think the cloud shows a riddle from the earlier Omni, place it at the far end of the table by the start. If the cloud describes a more recent trial, place it down there by the end. You may only bring one cloud to the table at a time per trip from the pile over there. Feel free to rearrange the clouds on the table as much as you'd like, but once you are ready to lock in, press the buzzer to submit the time. The player with the most points will win safety and enter the gates before the next rapture. 3, 2, 1, go.
I walk out, I'm first to go, and I see start and end, 2 little pieces of paper. Basically, what I have to do is we have little riddles that explain what each different Omni trial was, and we have to put them in the right order from start to end, from the first one to the last one. But it's tricky because they are in riddles. I started with the first one, obviously the Halo competition, one that mentioned halos, and I was kind of honestly forgetting a bit of the beginning, so I go and jump to the end, and I'm doing the last few on these because we just did those, so it's obvious to remember those, and I start filling in the blanks. So I know this is a mental competition. This is a good sign. This is a good sign. I think I can beat Nate, and that's my only priority right now. I think it's everyone's priority. I don't want to have to check my work because that wastes time, but I also don't want to rush it and not be accurate. So I take my time and do it, but also rushing as much as I can. You not only have to get it correct, but you also have to buzz in and have the fastest time just in case someone ties. I hit my buzzer and let's hope for the best.
For this next challenge, we need anyone but Nate to win for this round to go well for us. At this point, I'm most closely working with Trevor along with Dresden, and that's who I feel like I want to keep moving forward with and I can trust, and I'm really gunning to get out Nate and Javan. However, Javan is safe this round, so we really have to beat Nate again. My strategy was just to try and remember as much as I could as quickly as I could, and maybe I did not take enough time to double check my answers because I wasn't confident after I pushed the buzzer.
So after that game of bouncing the marbles, my body was honestly fully fucking exhausted. We were in the bedroom, we put the rain sounds on, and we literally were all napping in between turns for this round. So when I'm waking up, I'm getting the crusties out of my eye, and he's trying to explain the rules to me, and I am just trying to understand like where I'm supposed to organize these at, because I was just literally so dead, I don't know why, from holding a tray with marbles on them. But we had to organize the order of events based off of a riddle that was on the clouds, and you had to arrange them from first to last in the quickest amount of time. As I was going through this, some of the riddles, I was like, that seems like it could be 2 of the challenges. That kind of seems like Halo Chop in the first challenge. So I was trying to organize them in a way that made sense, but like, the numbers weren't adding up, and I didn't realize it until after, is because I was thinking that there were 11 challenges because we just did the 11th Omni. So my numbers were all mixed up. I took forever.
As soon as the time starts, I want to just grab every cloud and put them in a line in between start to end, and then arrange later. I feel like once I have all the pieces on the table, I can put them in order a little bit faster instead of bringing them to the table, reading it, and try to put it in order then. So that's my strategy going into that, and hopefully it buys me speed. Well, hopefully it buys me time and I can get this win. As I'm putting these in order, I'm seeing that this is not like peaches and cream. This involves some work, and I'm going to have to probably like think back to what is what and when did this happen, like throughout this game.
Thank you. Hello. For the first time ever, there was 4 people in the pits this round. And there is about to be only 3. The winner of this Power of Redemption competition has saved themselves. Without further ado, I'm sure you want to see the results. Order of events. Results. The winner of this competition got all 10 correct. The time did not matter, but it was 3:57. Unfortunately, 4th place, who will be in the pits, is Nate.
Seeing the time and the score being the lowest for both was pretty embarrassing. But at this point, I've kind of accepted my fate of having to go down into the pits.
3rd place, we have Lydia. 2nd place and last pits player, cursed one, is Dresden. Trevor got a perfect score. Congratulations, Trevor. You have won this Power of Redemption.
So then that means I'm ascending, and I really hope that Lydia and Dresden are gonna vote Nate out. I'm pretty sure they're going to, but like, please, you never know. Like last round, anything can happen. Once you go up there, who knows what happens down there, what deals are made, what new information comes out. Please let this work. We worked so hard. Javan, the strength, won the strength competition, and Trevor, me, I won the mental. We did this 1-2 punch to get Nate out.
Obviously, I'm going to keep you video all the time. And I hope that I get your vote in return. I think we've just been a killer duo from the start, and even if things don't go according to plans here and there, like I still trust you, obviously, and I'm voted to keep you safe, I guess. So I just hope I get that safe in return, and that we can just go with our nice little core 4 alliance to the top 4, like we had planned at the beginning, and just slap this thing. So I'm in the pits for the first time this season. I was really hoping I could just skate by and not have to go through it, even though Noah mentioned it last time he was voted out that I was the only one that hasn't been in the pits, which is obvious. But it sucks to be down here.
I was gonna say, is it too bold to just be I feel like it feels to me like a no-brainer?
I mean, I didn't even confirm to Nate whether I was ready to get or not. Because I didn't want to have a discussion with them. I think now is the time that
this might be the literal only chance, and we can say that we did that.
These rounds with less and less people are getting more and more difficult, and now it's down to just the 3 of us in the pits to vote, which means me and one other person could get Nate out at this point, and I really need Dresden to see that this is the best move. Nate is going to win this game, and I pitched that to Dresden, and Dresden pitched it right back to me, and we were on the same page.
we're getting to the end game. He can't get any further, especially if we have the votes right here. This opportunity is literally in front of us on the silver platter, so I really feel like we need to check out. So it's my turn to talk with Lydia, and I think that it's a sure thing. Me and Lydia know what we need to do, and if everything goes the way it should, Nate unfortunately will be the one going home this week.
We are down to the final 5 players. I will give each of you a few seconds to talk to the other players. Dresden, you can go first.
Just know that there's nothing personal and the love is still there for the both of you, and I hope that whatever happens, there's still love for me because I truly love you all, and I hope we can be friends after all this.
Okay, Lydia?
Yeah, I love you both too, and also nothing personal. I believe you're married me in a final. So I have to try to do what I feel best for my own personal game, but I hope that
like no hard feelings.
No, I
And
appreciate
I love you, and I love you as well. And I respect whatever decision you make. It will be not take it personal, and I just adore you as a person.
Well, obviously, love you guys both. I'm glad we have this little diversity Oreo here in the top 5. I know Dresden and I have been working together for quite a long time, and I'm gonna put my vote on Dresden, to be honest, just because that's just something that was kind of established at the beginning, and I'm hoping that you can give me that same thing in return. But if you don't, I understand.
Okay, thank you very much. Some of the votes might seem a little obvious, but we will see what happens in the voting booth.
This may be my last vote to cast, but I'm going to save Dresden.
I vote to save Lydia.
This is actually the hardest vote I had to make, because it's a very obvious choice for me that there's a huge target to win this game that needs to go, but I love Nate so much and it hurts to like potentially be the reason he goes, but I'm going to save Dresden.
The votes have been cast and tallied. The vote is 2 to 1 to 0. The player with 2 votes to save is Dresden. You are safe. That means that the last vote to save goes to only one of you. The player with a vote to save is Lydia, which means that Nate has been raptured and will enter the Golden Gates as a jury member.
You can read me if you want to.
I'm not. So for this game, I've made really strong alliance members, and I've honestly been very honest with everyone I've worked with. I haven't lied to a single person except for Noah, and I came pretty clean about that. I have been kind of carrying all of my alliance members kind of through this entire game, as far as getting the numbers for votes and getting, kind of like the votes to go our way and getting people out of the pits and just really taking control of this game. I'll probably give my vote to you because we were supposed to be working together, and I saved you multiple times, and I never got really anything in return, unfortunately. So that's all. And people who I've worked with, even though I am a bigger threat, it would look cleaner on their game if they played the same honest way that I did, so they can actually pitch an honorable game to the jury. Fallen angel.
Hello.
Final four, are you kidding me?
Absolutely insane. I cannot believe.
We knew what we had to do. We have to fight for ourselves to win, and as much as I love Nate, that was the hardest vote for me because I love him. I'm sorry, Nate, but you were gonna win, and I want to be the one to win this one.
How was that?
That was really hard. That was the hardest one.
I see Nate ascend up into the Golden Gates, and it's bittersweet because I really, really like Nate, but it's just something we had to do to get him out because he was gonna win the entire game.
We've gotten rid of 11 people this far, meaning that I'm 1 round away from sitting in the finale of the Golden Gates. And so I'm feeling more focused in order to make sure that this round goes in a direction that sets me up in a position where I can win, potentially be this season's winner and this game's first winner.
final four. Did you miss me? You all have worked tirelessly to make it this far in the game. No, seriously, you should be proud of yourselves. You make deals, you break them. You win safety, but you can't protect your allies. You stabbed in the back and in the front. Will this come back to haunt you? This Omni trial is called The Last Laugh, and here's how it works. You will be answering questions about how well you know the members of the jury. Did you take a chance to get to know them during the game? If you had the chance to see them in the Golden Gates, did you use it well? You will be asked a question from each member of the jury, where the answer will be either A or B. Once all the questions are answered, we'll tally the scores and see who wins. If there's a tie, we do have a predetermined tiebreaker ready for those who are involved. Instead of sending the rest of the players to the pits, the winner of this Omni will choose 2 of their 3 other contenders they would like to compete in a final Power of Redemption duel. That means that the 3rd contender, who was not chosen to duel, will be immune for the week and ascend with the Omni to the final 3. Sounds like a hell of a choice. Can't wait to see how it turns out.
A duel?
We're at the final 4, and we learned that how it works is the person that wins the next Omni trial gets to save one person, ascend with them, and leave the other 2 to duel. In my head, I'm like, so Noah's gone, the one that I thought I could easily beat. Nate's gone, the one that I knew I couldn't easily beat. What do I even do now? Javan's my number 1. I have this deal with Lydia. I have a final 3 with Dresden and Javan. What do I do?
What color shirt did I wear on day 1? Was it blue or black?
Did Noah wear a blue or black shirt on day 1? And reveal. Black, blue, blue, blue.
The answer's blue.
It was blue. Just like his feelings.
So the competition is called The Last Laugh, and it's all about the jury members. And I'm like, you know what? This is kind of scary because some of the earlier jury members I didn't get to talk to that much. When I've ascended, I've usually been stressed out and not really talking to them, or they're just all talking with each other because they've been bonding the whole time. So I feel like while I'm a very good listener and I kind of listen to people, I was worried that I wasn't going to do well in this.
I was in the blank, the Army or the Navy.
I was in the blank, the Army or the Navy. And reveal. Army, 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 Navy.
B, Navy.
Lydia gets a point.
So this competition is about getting to know the jury, and I'm pretty nervous going in because I have been in the pits a lot this game, and I'm not sure how well I know them.
Am I from A, Pennsylvania, or B, Montana?
Is Chloe from Pennsylvania or Montana? Reveal. Montana, Pennsylvania, Pennsylvania, Pennsylvania.
A, Pennsylvania.
She's from Pennsylvania.
So my drink of choice is either A, whiskey, or B, vodka.
Is John's drink of choice whiskey or vodka? And reveal. A is whiskey. Whiskey, whiskey, whiskey.
Answer is A, whiskey.
Woo! Okay.
Hi. What instrument do I play professionally? Violin or flute?
Does Sedona play violin or flute professionally? And reveal. We got violin, flute, flute, flute. The correct answer.
A, violin.
Javan gets a point.
I want to win, but in the event that I lose, I may not have to get any blood on my hands with these 3, and I have an easy ticket to the finale.
Am I from A, Montreal,
or B, Ottawa?
And reveal.
And I am from Ottawa.
In this challenge, it really tests how well you got to know the jury members. And for some, I was pretty confident, but for others, I was a little apprehensive, not knowing whether I talked enough personal life type of things with these people that I felt like I was building connections with.
What is my favorite animal? A platypus, or B, an otter?
Platypus or otter?
B, an otter.
Everybody but Lydia gets a point.
Which fun fact is true? A, I've been in 3 JCPenney's commercials, or B, I'm missing 3 knuckles.
Reveal. A, and B.
B, I'm missing 3 knuckles.
Lydia is correct.
So I get this Seb question wrong, and I remember him telling me his entire health journey the last time I was up in the Golden Gates. But for some reason, I'm just thinking, aw, little baby Seb in a JCPenney commercial? That sounds right.
What color are my eyes? Green or blue?
And reveal.
Blue.
Blue is correct. Javan, Trevor, and Lydia get a point.
I'm actually getting a lot of them right, and I'm surprising myself a little, and I'm starting to feel like, wow, I really could win this final Omni.
If you were paying attention, do I work with Jon Wells or Ben Woods on production?
And reveal.
Jon Wells.
Trevor, Dresden, Lydia get a point.
All right, my question is, do I have a tattoo of either A, a banana, or B, a pear on my inner thigh?
And reveal. Pear, 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 pear.
The answer is B, pear.
You all got that one correct. And it looks like we have a tie between Trevor and Lydia. We will be going to a tiebreaker question.
And me and Lydia end up in a tie in this competition. And I'm like, I need to just go for this. I need to go for this competition and win, just to put something on my resume, make the decision, whoever does go next, even though I love them all.
Tiebreaker question. How many votes have been cast during the Rapture throughout the season so far? Votes to save.
It ends up being a tie between Trevor and I, and we have to go to a tiebreaker question. I knew it was going to be a math question, and I'm really not good at doing that quickly. My brain just is fried from lack of sleep.
And reveal. 78 and 103. The closest to the answer of 83 is Trevor. And you have won the final Omni trial.
So I go for it. I put my best guess in this competition and end up winning the last Omni trial. I get that big key. I get to pick who comes to the final 3 with me. Very stressful. I have no idea what to do. I really don't. I don't know how I can win. I feel like all 3 of you have bonds with the jury that I don't. I'm really scared. I really feel that.
Now it's up to Trevor to decide who he wants to take with him into the final 3 and which players will be having to battle it out to earn their way to the final 3.
A really big move that you made was saving me. That, I think, really flipped the game, and you did that. You came to me last night. None of the other people came to me because they thought whoever's dragged just save, nah, wash your hands of it. That's it. You did not have that attitude, and you made the move to save me so that you could flip the game.
So my pitch to Trevor has to do with the deal we made back when he saved me on the double elimination. I pitched that I felt like that was his big turning point in the game. He took control of his own game and he turned on big targets, and used me to propel his game forward, and I thought that would look good for him, for me to be sitting with him at the end.
It was a conversation when everybody else washed their hands of the game for the night, went and partied, went to the hot tub, went to bed, and you were still playing when other people were not. And don't sell yourself short for the jury, because you have played an amazing game. And I'm like really proud of you, and I'm really glad that you're there.
Lydia's first, and she tells me this really great pitch. She tells me to be confident in myself. You can get jury votes, Trevor. Like, you did that. Me and you worked together. That was our move. We switched this game up. We did something. I knew that I've been doing something all this game, but she's right. Like, she gave me a lot of confidence and made me happy, and it made me actually want to save her and bring her to the final.
I hope that you choose to bring somebody in that you do think that you have a good chance of beating. And I pissed off quite a few people. I want that to be considered. My pitch to Trevor, if you look at who's left in the game and who has won all these competitions, who has maybe played a flashier game, I think that Lydia and Javan, they stand out far more than I do. I think Trevor would feel like he could beat me more than he can beat them if I pitch the fact that Javan and Lydia have flashier games, have won more competitions. I've won the least amount of competitions in this group, and both Noah and Nate both read me on their way out, so I have a feeling that I won't get as many votes, but I would love a chance to come and try to pitch my case and tell my story.
Then I go with Dresden, and he's a bit more realistic, and he says to me, you know that Lydia and Javan are very likely to win this game. And I'm like, I know.
I'm more scared to sit beside Lydia than I am Javan. And she really hasn't pissed anybody off. If anything, she has the perfect underdog story in this game.
Dresden's making a good point. Like, I know he's right. I know that they're both great threats. And I'm like, this is like a moral thing at this point, because I've been working with Javan this entire time. I have to balance who I want to win with me having to try my best to just keep winning. I have to keep going, even if it's looking slim.
What are your thoughts? Like, because absolutely not Lydia, but then it's like between me and Dresden. Like, you have to save one of us.
So then Javan is the last one to come in, and I wanted him to be last because I was kind of scared that this is what I'm gonna do.
Like, she has a lot of people that would vote for her, I feel like.
And so it becomes down to
and
who's
me and
the
her
best to
have
get
both.
her out.
Yeah.
So, as I'm about to go have my one-on-one with Trevor, I realized that the smartest move for him to make for his game is to bring Dresden to the final 3 and have me in the final duel.
Yeah, I realized that, like, this is what you have to do for your game.
And Javan is okay with it. He's okay with it, and that was really, like, if he wasn't okay with it, I wouldn't have done it. And maybe he wasn't okay with it deep down, but he didn't say that. If he was like, no, please, like, we did this, let's go to the end, please, I would not have done that to him. And it broke my heart to feel like I had to do that, and that he, like, accepted it. It was like an easy out for me.
Trevor, it is now time to decide who you will be taking up with you through the gates into the final 3, and who you will send into the duel.
I'm thinking that I have to put the 2 people that I think are most likely to get the jury votes into a duel and see what happens and go from there. And it, like, breaks my heart to do that, but I think that's what I have to do. But the person I'm gonna save is Dresden. I'm sorry.
Trevor and Dresden will now enter through the Golden Gates.
Congratulations.
I love Lydia. I love Javan. I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know what I wanted. I just know one of them had to leave, and to even give me a slight chance at getting those jury votes.
I've officially reached my goal of wanting to make a final. I feel like I came into this game competing against 14 other people. I knew that I needed to get rid of 12 in order to be sitting in the final 3.
I hope you recognize that and respect that.
Yeah,
that
I do.
was
I
the
mean, I
move.
can't help that you guys can't beat me. I mean,
And I can't help it either, honey. I can't help it.
if you want to sit with easy scapegoats, I can't win a single challenge in this entire game, then go ahead and do that. But either of you probably won't be getting my vote.
They start ripping into me in Dresden instantly, screaming at us, yelling at us, big personalities. They're talking a lot of shit, and I'm just trying my best to be cordial and explain myself. And when there's fucking 12 people yelling at you and telling you that you are the worst and you made the worst moves, you really think you can win?
Either way, you would have.
So was it supposed to be 3-2-0? I'm confused.
Because that still wouldn't have faked.
After I just said, Nate, I had to take you out, you are the jury's favorite. Mira puts her hand up. You really think taking out the jury's favorite is gonna gain you any favor?
So, but perspective-wise, do you think it was a good idea to bring Dresden up because you just put a huge target on your back, announcing that you fucked over JoJo and Nate, who were fan favorites of the jury? Do you think that helped your game?
Either I fucking take him out, or you don't fucking vote for me, or I leave him in and you don't vote for me then. So what? I can't win any way. What are you fucking saying to me?
It's the king and queen of hell, Javan and myself, about to duel for the final time. This is the final face-off, and I told Javan as soon as I knew we were in this duel together that I do believe whoever wins this duel could possibly win this game.
So I am about to go into a duel with Lydia, and this is the final competition of the game, and I am getting absolutely pumped because whoever wins this goes into the final 3, and I think I have a pretty good shot at winning.
Welcome to the first ever Golden Gates duel. The two of you failed to prove yourself in the Omni trial, and were not chosen to join the Omni inside of the Golden Gates for safe passage into the final 3. You both have one last chance to save yourself, and here's how.
This duel will have 2 parts. In the first, you'll have the opportunity to answer 10 questions about the season for a potential 100-second advantage in part 2. The first to press the buzzer will answer the question. If you're correct, you'll get a 10-second advantage. If you hesitate to answer, or if you're incorrect, your opponent will get a 10-second advantage. If you end up each getting a 50-second advantage, it all evens out to 0.
In part 2, you will receive a 2-sided puzzle. Decide whether you're more of an angel or a devil and complete that side. Whoever finishes their puzzle first wins the duel and their way into the final 3. The loser of the challenge will be instantly raptured and join the rest of the jury in the Golden Gates.
Any final questions? Good. Let's get dueling. Question 1. Who entered the Golden Gates after winning a competition the most? There are multiple correct answers. You only need one of them.
Charlie?
The answers are Javan, Trevor, or JoJo. That means that Javan gets a 10-second advantage because Lydia answered incorrectly.
So in round 1, we're answering questions about things that happened in the game. And for every question we get right, we get a 10-second advantage going into round 2.
Question 2. Who won Tower of Change? Javan?
Trevor?
The correct answer is Trevor. Javan gets 10 seconds. Question 3. Who received the most votes to save themselves in Raptures this season?
Javan?
The correct answer is Javan. Question 4. Which round number was the golden round where each challenge had golden in its title?
I will choose to pass.
Yeah. I don't remember.
Okay. Question 5. Who was the 5th contender raptured? Javan?
Jon V?
The correct answer is Mark. That was the fast forward round. Lydia gets the advantage. We are tied. Currently, there's no advantage. Question 6. How many jury members are there so far?
10.
The correct answer is 11. There's 2 of you, the 2 upstairs, and that leaves 11 players in the jury.
Round 1 of this duel is actually so much fun. I love Javan and he makes everything fun. Even though this should be a super serious situation right now, we're kind of slap happy and we're just going back and forth with terrible answers and really probably not putting as much focus on this as we should.
Question 7. Who were the 3 cursed ones during the first rapture? All 3 of them, please. Who were the 3 cursed ones during the first rapture? The correct answer is Charlie, Mira, and Sedona. Javan gets another 10 seconds because Lydia answered the question incorrectly. Question 8. What TV show did you watch on Fish TV? Javan?
Real Housewives of Hell?
2. That is incorrect. The Real Housewives of the Golden Gates.
Oh, that makes sense. That's the name of... Yeah.
Javan currently has 10-second lead. We're going into question 9. How many contenders competed in the Fast Forward Challenge?
10.
The correct answer is 12. Javan gets a 10-second advantage because Lydia answered incorrectly. The last question. How many votes to save were there at the second rapture? How many votes were there?
7.
The correct answer is 10. Which
5 to 5.
Which means that Javan gets 10 more seconds of an advantage.
And unfortunately for me, I got a little bit too caught up in the fun and left 30 extra seconds on the table for Javan to complete this second part of this challenge.
Javan will get a 30-second advantage in part 2 competition. Three, 2, 1, go.
So going into the second round, I have a 30-second advantage. So all I need to do is complete this puzzle and beat Lydia, and then I'm gonna be final 3. So I open up my chest and I dump out the puzzle, and I quickly realize that there are 2 sides to this puzzle. One is gold, one is black, and I have to pick which side, and I decide to go with gold.
Go.
Now we're in phase 2 of this challenge, and this is do or die, quite literally. I'm ready to take this completely seriously, and my nerves are shaking. I know that my hands are gonna be shaking trying to put these little puzzle pieces together, but I'm a puzzle person, so even with the 30 seconds, I was watching him during the 30 seconds and he wasn't getting anywhere, so the pressure was on. So this puzzle is double-sided and we are allowed to do whichever side we want. I recognized right away that the hell side had flames, and I thought if I could line up the points, it would be much easier to fill in around it, and I wasn't sure what was on the other side, so I chose the flames and stuck with it.
So I realized this puzzle on the gold side is a halo. So all I need to do is rearrange my pieces and find which ones will fit in the correct locations. It's been 10 minutes of me trying to figure it out, and I'm looking over at Lydia's puzzle, and she looks really, really close to completion, so I'm scrambling.
As I'm down to my last 3 pieces of this puzzle, it's starting to hit me that I'm gonna win this one and that I'm in the final 3, and I really do have a chance to win this game.
Lydia has completed the puzzle and is safe and is in the final 3.
I start to get emotional once he said Lydia is the winner. I was so proud of myself that I fought back for a 7th time and took down the King of Hell himself, and now I am the queen, reigning supreme with 7 pit wins.
Javan, that means that you have been raptured. Well, I'll do a video of you going to...
They got me, gal. So after I lose the final duel, I'm pretty sad that I didn't get to the end just because I knew I could do it, but I don't know. But that being said, I'm really proud of the game I played. This being my first ever LRG. It's been a crazy ride, but I'm so excited to get the full experience and be on the jury and actually get to vote for a winner.
And it was devastating seeing Javan walk up the stairs and just knowing that, like, fuck, I technically did this to him. It really sucked. I almost regretted it instantly, but also knew that I just had to do what I did and live life with no regrets. But it was tough. It was very tough. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Oops, I'm sorry.
Good job. So we're in the final 3. I don't wipe my face off, but
they fucking ripped us to shit.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I don't even get to talk to them.
They
or
made me
anything
cry.
while they're At first, I was so excited that I made this final 3. I cannot believe I did it. I fought so hard to get here, but then the weight of having to speak in front of people starts to hit me, and I'm starting to feel a little uneasy.
So now the final 3 is me, Lydia, and Dresden. After fighting with the jury like that, I'm really not feeling good about myself, not feeling confident. I know what I did, and a lot of other people do too, even if they're not the vocal ones or the ones that like to bark and yell and scream. I played my game, and I'm excited to just do this final jury vote, and let's see what happens.
it's been a long journey of unfortunately lying, forming bonds, and having to go back on those bonds, and basically being a social mess. But this is a mess that I don't think needs to be cleaned up, because ultimately it got me to the end, and whatever happens, I'm very proud of the game that I played.
We are stewing in this seclusion room as the final three, waiting to address the jury and be addressed by the jury. And I'm going over and over in my head every possible move I can think of to bring up to sell my game to this jury.
Good evening, Golden Gates jury. Welcome back. I've let you out of the Golden Gates for a little bit because we're going to have a vote for a winner. I think it's time that we bring out our final three. What do you think?
Yeah. Sure.
Good evening, final three, and our lovely raptured jury. How have things been inside of the Golden Gates?
Messy.
Okay.
Dramatic.
Okay. It seems like there's one last thing to do before we vote for a winner and wrap this season up. We will start by letting each of our lovely angel jury members ask one question to one of the three contenders in the final three. Without any further ado, let's get the jury to start asking their questions. Sedona, would you like to go first?
Simple question for Trevor. What is my name?
Sedona.
And how is it spelled?
Sedona.
And is that my real name?
Yes.
Next.
Mira, would you like to ask your question?
Dresden, hi.
Hi.
We talked a little bit earlier, and I would just like for you to kind of explain a move that you made to prove that you were holding the power in this game.
I will say a move where I feel like I made a statement in this game, a powerful statement in this game, would be when I was in a situation where I was in the pits with myself, Jon, and Javan. I went to Jon, I looked him into his eyes, and I told him I would vote for him to stay if he would vote for me to stay, and that guaranteed me having one of the most amount of votes to stay that round.
So my question's for Lydia. Throughout the game, what did you do to either save other females or was part of your strategy to help get them pushed out of the game?
I did not have a strategy based around gender in any way. I was playing with the people that I felt I could trust and people that I connected with. One person that I connected with really well right off the bat was Chloe. Like Chloe was like my girl from like hour one, and I would have done anything to protect her. And I just didn't feel like you and I had that type of connection. So I was doing what I felt would propel me best in the game based on the connections that I had and the trust I was building with people.
Lydia.
Yes.
Fantastic gameplay.
Thank you.
From our sofa alliance to your spot in the seat right now, I'm so proud of the way that you have artfully navigated every layer of this game. My question for you is, what's the lesson you're going to take away from this outside of the game?
Okay, so a few like big moments for me that were like really impactful. One came from the touchy subjects, and I saw the list on the refrigerator, and I thought somebody had just put their list up there, and so I saw that somebody voted me as the friendliest, and I was like, oh my goodness, that's so nice. And then somebody told me, oh, that's the majority vote, and I was like, there's no way, because I see myself, like I have a perception of myself to be like a very socially awkward, quiet, anxious person, and so I think it's a lesson about not letting that self-doubt and like putting that on myself. I can present my best self and that it can be accepted.
Mad props to you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Well, my question is for Trevor. Pretend everyone in the jury is in a deadlock, and I'm the deciding vote. Why should I vote for you to win?
I think you should vote for me to win because I really tried to work with you personally, and I think that you shut me out because you assumed I was working with other people and you just didn't give me that full chance. The perfect example I told you earlier, I actually voted for you to stay instead of Javan the round that it was 5-5 that Becca went. and I put the person that I was the closest with at risk just because I want to make sure that you had more votes than Becca. And Javan doesn't even know that, but I only did that because I felt that he had enough. But I did that for you because I wanted to work with you.
So I'm actually gonna ask my question to Lydia. So I need you to explain a move in which you made by yourself that was not strongly based on something Jon wanted or Charlie wanted.
The specific move was actually the move I made with Trevor on the double last night. Once everybody, cut for the evening, Trevor and I were still playing the game. And he came to me and he proposed that we could work together to save me. And if we do this move, I said, if you save me, I have your back to the end. And we made it to the end together.
Okay, Chloe.
I do have a question for Dresden. It seemed like you continually seem to come to some people and say, hey, we haven't talked a lot. And then it would just you wouldn't really say anything. It just didn't seem like you ever showed your hand at all. It was just wanting to see what other people were thinking.
My delivery and some of the things I did were probably a little short, but I didn't want to give people too much to where I would become a target to them, and I think that's why I was successful in not gaining a lot of traction to a lot of you jury members.
Yes.
Lydia, there were just some talks amongst the jury as to whether you were kind of sleeping and dragging your feet until you had to be activated and play when Jon left. So I would just kind of like to hear your plan, action, and final result as briefly as you can to prove that you weren't floating.
Yes, so that was 100% a plan to stay under the radar for as long as I could, coming in, not knowing how the format would play out, but knowing right off the bat I did not want to be the first Omni, and I executed that by asking Dresden to give me the first Halo, throwing most of the comps throughout the game in order to stay in limbo to protect my people, and allowing people like Jon and Charlie to be the bigger figures in front of me to let them have the power, and I would throw to have the real power, which is the vote to protect my people.
My question is for you, Trevor. I think you gave some good examples earlier, but what are some things that maybe you want to highlight that you did for yourself and may have gone against the grain, but you did for you, and what you were hoping to get out of that?
Yeah, so the perfect example is everyone thought, me and Javan were very close the whole time, obviously, but I needed to make sure that I was covered in other areas. I went straight to you and said, listen, I see you as a smart guy, a smart player. I need to be aligned with you and I want to be aligned with you. Another example is something with Noah. You know the good conversation we had on the side. Between those two and lots of other examples, I was always trying to make sure that I was set up in this game. There was not one time that I actually was up for the vote. I might have been in the pits, but I found a way to get out of the pits every single time.
Let's be real, this jury is a little large, so Trevor, I want you to vote 5 people off this jury right now and tell us why.
I think when I came in this game, the thing that startled me right off the bat was Becca saying, hey, you're a gamer, here's your Halo. So I would vote her out first because that threw me off. Yeah. Next, I would probably vote out Sedona because she thinks I don't know how to spell her name, and I'm bad at spelling, but I spelled it. Noah, I would say you because you got voted out once, and then you came back, you earned yourself back, but at least you had your second chance. And I'll pick Mira just because you're out early, so I'd vote you out of the jury.
Well, this was a full coat, but you two wrote the tails off of it. My question's for Dresden. At the beginning of the game, you mentioned that we had so much in common being 2 black queer men, and that you wanted to set the end with me, that we really vibed together, that you trusted me, that you really saw us in the final together. And then when push came to shove, after I saved you multiple times, somehow the narrative changed to where you said, I don't care who I sit with in the finale. I just want to be there. So my question is, are you happy with how you got there and who you're sitting with, and why?
That's a good question. I do want to start this off by saying that I apologize if anything that has come out of my mouth has like shed a negative light on me. It's not my place to make anyone feel uncomfortable. And getting back to the game, I am proud. Well, I'm happy with who I'm sitting with, and ultimately I do want you to know that me voting you all had everything to do with the game and nothing else. And I hope that answers your question.
Final jury question from Javan.
All right, so my question is for the queen herself of hell, Lydia. You and I were down in the pits a lot. I just wanted to know what moves and adaptations you made to pull yourself out each time, if you had a plan.
So from the point, my number one, Jon V, got voted out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I was in the pits every single one of those times, and I fought myself out a different way each time. As I said before, I had thrown a lot of the protection challenges early, but once Jon went and I knew I didn't have the numbers anymore, I had to protect myself first, and that's when I started putting it into gear in the challenges, and I won a few challenges in a row to save myself. And then when I was in the pits and didn't get to go up into the gates during the pits, I used the relationships and inroads that I had kept with people like Trevor and Dresden and Nate to keep me safe in those times. Even though I did not have a game relationship, strategy relationship with them, I kept my good standing and rapport with them to have an inroad to protect myself and throw targets on other people.
Thank you, Golden Gates jury. It is now time to hear from the final three about what they want to add to all those questions. And we will start with Lydia because you are in the chair that always goes first.
Okay, so a lot of this has been addressed within the questions, but my strategy come in once again was to fly under the radar as far as I could. And when my number one got voted out, I decided to become the queen of hell along with my king, and fought my way out of hell 7 times and had a hand in helping take out the biggest threat to win in Nate, and took out the king myself. Sorry, husband. And so I feel like I had a solid strategy throughout the game, and I also was able to make it to this chair feeling like I did it with lighthearted integrity. I did not turn on any of my people. I was loyal to my people, and once my people were all taken out, boom, 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 I found new people to be loyal to. And so you can make it here, and you can play a good game that you can be proud of without lying and deceiving and playing both sides, and you can still have good relationships with the people who you didn't necessarily work with strategically. And I really appreciate if you would vote for me to win, and I love you all, and that's about it.
Okay, so hard to follow from that, but I came into this game without a strategy. This is a new concept, first season of a new game. What I wanted to do after a few rounds of fully realizing how this game is played is that I didn't like being safe up there. I wanted the power to come and vote with people, and that at a certain point in this game, I basically realized I surrounded myself with a bunch of very strong people. I realized I have to get rid of these people that are strong and have been voting with, because if I want a chance to stand out, that's the only way that it's gonna happen. And the biggest turning point in my game was the conversation that Lydia talked about. And we had that conversation, made that deal, and it might not be the best thing to cut everyone I was working with, but I needed it, and that's how I decided to get myself here, and I'm sorry for the people that I hurt.
It is now time for Dresden to go.
Coming into this game, I know that competitions are not my strong suit, and so I wanted to take more of a social approach to this game. That is why I was putting my hands in a lot of baskets and making a lot of deals with people especially the deal that I made with Javan and Trevor on day 2. But when it got to day 3 and I needed to start making cuts, I did what I needed to do in order to be loyal to these 2 right here in order to get in this seat that I'm sitting in right now. I don't apologize for the game I played, and in fact, I am proud of the game I played. And I've broken barriers, and even if I don't win today, I do feel like a winner. That's my pitch.
Thank you to all of the jury and the final 3. It's now time for the jury to come up and vote who they would like to see win this season and become the first ever Golden Gates champion.
This game reminded me of a rhyme from when I was a little kid when we played on the playground. We'd all stand in a circle, and the name of the game was Golden Gates. And it went, how many miles to London town? And the reply was 10. So let me through your golden gates. We said, not without your gold and pen. So here's my gold, and here's my pen. And now, I'm gonna let somebody through the golden gate.
We all know I was supposed to win, so I'm just kidding. You want to be the queen of hell, you can't be.
Small acts of kindness just don't go unnoticed.
Nothing pithy, this person just impressed me the most.
It's so hard to play these games and be loyal. I've tried it, I've got burnt many times. Turning to a villain still doesn't work. So you proved a lot and you deserve this.
It's not a giant feat, to be honest, in this game.
Honesty is the best policy.
My vote is going to a liar that owns it, not a bullshitter that plays with people's integrity.
One of you is hoping would be a silent assassin, and that was half true. The other has blood on their hands that didn't need to be on their own, though I think maybe deserves better. And finally, my vote is for someone I think put on a masterclass, and I learned a lot from.
I played this whole game being honest and transparent with people when I was going to vote for them and drag them down. I received 2 whole votes this season, and only one person was able to look me in the eye and let me know they were going to vote for me, so I'm going to vote for them.
I have nothing dramatic to say. This is just for who I thought played the best game and who I was gagged with.
I'd like to thank everyone so much for playing my game. It came to me in a dream in 2019, and it's 4 years later, and it is a real thing now. And I want to thank all of the players so much, all of the production so much. I could not have done it without any of you. And it's been so, so fun. The vote. 1 vote for Lydia. 2 votes for Lydia. 1 vote, Dresden. Lydia. 1 vote, Trevor. Lydia. The winner of Golden Gates, Lydia.
Like, thank you everyone like who voted for me, and even those who didn't. I really appreciate you and I love you, and I'm like really, really proud of myself right now. And I walked in the door and I did not think I could do this, and I can, and I did. And it means so much to me, and I thank you all for being a part of it. So I just won the first season of the Golden Gates. I cannot believe it. I am floored, and I still don't think it's hit me, but I'm so proud of my game, and I was feeling so good about my chances, and I can't believe I did it. I love everyone on this cast, and I had so much fun in this game, and to have a game where you have so much fun and meet so many cool people and also win on top of it, what could be better? am so happy right now, and I'm $500 richer.